Barbara Blake Hanna, O.D., is a Jamaican journalist, author, filmmaker, and cultural consultant. In 1968, she became the first black TV journalist in Britain, appearing daily on the Today program in London, ATV Today in Birmingham. Mrs. Blake Hanna is the author of 6 books and has documented her life in 2 biographies. She was also appointed an independent senator 1984 to 1987. Mrs. Blake Hanna has served as cultural liaison for the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport since 2018.
I was born the daughter of a man who spent his life writing, so I couldn't help but follow in his footsteps as best I could. My one picture of my father is him at the typewriter writing. So that's where my life as a writer began. It just developed after that from being strictly a journalist to being someone who was able to express my creativity in writing. It's a curiosity to put down the words that are in my mind on paper. And sometimes I have to get up in the night and sit at my computer typewriter and put them out before my brain allows me to go to sleep. And I write a lot, most of which I never publish. Just stuff that I have to write down, get it out of me. I write about reparations, I write about Africa, I write about the sufferings of colonialism, slavery, I write about my politics. And there's a lot of things in that. I mean, food, lifestyle, ganja legalization, I wrote a lot about that. And of course, Rastafari, my culture. I think having written the first book on Rastafari, written by a Rasta, could be called my greatest achievement. That arose out of being asked by Barbara Gluten, who was then editor of The Star, to write 5 articles on Rasta. It had never been done that someone should write and explain what Rasta was. And that's what made me think, hey, this could be a book. Let me put these together in a book and write some more about it. So that was my great achievement. But writing about my 10 years in England, becoming a black English woman, and writing about racism, what it was like being a black person in Britain, and during that time becoming the first black journalist on British television, which was quite an achievement because of the amount of racism in Britain, and losing that job because of the racism in Britain. That needed a book. So writing that was very cathartic, very good to write that book, growing out black hair and black pride in the swinging 60s. My passion is my son. I'm so glad to be a mother of a wonderful son. It's lovely. It's lovely. That's my real passion, my son. I love being Jamaican. I'm glad that I was born and have grown to be a Jamaican. And I think that's a blessing. Long life as a Jamaican, as a mother. That's all I could ever want out of having lived. You know, if you're going to write an epitaph on my stone, that's all that I need, to have lived life and loved it as a Jamaican and as a mother. That's all. Jamaica is the greatest place on earth. And if anything I do is good for Jamaica and looks good for Jamaica, makes Jamaica look good, oh, I'm so happy. That's enough. My father got a Musgrave Medal. He got a silver. My son got a Musgrave. He got the first Youth Musgrave Award. So I'm the last one in my family to get a Musgrave Medal. I'm so honored. I'm so thrilled, because I know what both those medals have meant to the other 2 members of my family who've received them. I know what honor Makonnen, my son, has as a recipient of a Musgrave. So to me, it means I've made it. I've made it in my son's and my father's eyes. I've joined them on a very high plane of achievement. Yes, that's what it means to me.
For her contribution to literature, the Council of the Institute of Jamaica is pleased to award Mrs. Barbara Blake Hanna, O.D., the Silver Musgrave Medal for Outstanding Merit in the Field.